Hello YouTubers, this channel is all about RV living, traveling, and do-it-yourself projects. Please hit the subscribe button below. Hello everybody. Today we're going to install these batteries. Before I started this video, I actually turned the solar charger on, and we had a very cloudy day, and I was getting about 100 to 150 watts, and I let it charge all day. At the end of the day, I realized that since I had that AGM battery in there, I changed the charging format of my charge controller. So I begin this by taking the cover off and changing one of the dip switches on the charge controller. The charge controller I use in this RV is made by Morningstar. It's a commercial MPPT charge controller that's usually used for homes. It's really overkill for an RV, but they're very reliable and they're very efficient. The model I have here is the TS MPPT 30, and if you look at the data chart on the right hand side, I can set this for all the different kinds of batteries, and actually I could even set up a custom profile. But what I've found is the gel profile, which is at 14 volts. Now this charger can do 12 volt, 24 volt, and 48 volt. You just set the dip switches to whatever level that you want the charge controller to work at. And I do have this set at 24 volts, so you have to multiply. The absorb stage is at 14 volts, which means for 24 volt battery it's going to be 28 volts, which is perfect for what I want. And of course the float setting stage, after it gets to 28 volts, the battery go back to rest, and then the float stage comes on, and it maintains a 27.4 volt at a very low amperage when the battery gets full. And the reason I had to change it because I had it set on number 4, the AGM, and the absorb is fine, the float stage is fine, but if you look over here to the equalizing stage and the interval, 15 times 2 is 30 volts. It would put this battery way out of the range that I want to charge in. It's even above the 29.4, the maximum I can charge this battery. So if I wanted to charge this battery at 29.4, which is equal to 4.2 for each volt, I could have selected the number 6 flooded range and turned off the equalizer, or I could set up a custom profile to charge the battery the way I want. And this would work on your 12 volts, even if you're using 3 cells to make 12.6, or you was using 4 cells to make 16.8 volts. You could set up a custom profile for this particular charge controller. Now I will be doing a total separate video for all the ultimate off-grid solar setup, and I will go over all the different aspects and how to set one up. But it's important to note, when you're putting a 18650 battery in a vehicle, you definitely want to check the charging profile of your charge controller. And if you have an inverter charger like I do, you also need to set that if you're going to use it. I've already set mine up, but I don't intend to ever use it, but if I need to use it, I can. After I put the charge controller back together. And it was at the end of the day, I wanted to check voltage Freecell, so you'll see me or hear me read off these cells. 3.85, cell 1, so that's cell 4, cell 1, .85. .85 for number 2. .85 for number 3. .85 for number 7. .85 for number 5. .85 for number 6. All of them 3.85. After I reconfigured the box that I had pulled out of here, out of the RV, I cut it down, and it sits about an inch above the top of the inverter. There's plenty of airflow that can go through this box. And on top of that 3/4 inch top, I put a 1-inch foam board. Then I put I took a piece of cardboard, corrugated cardboard, and glued a piece of vinyl that's actually used for tub liners on top of the piece of cardboard. And then I took that and glued it on top of the 1-inch foam board. And you can see how on this picture how thin the cardboard was. It was just to give a firm footing for those batteries. And so that's all glued together, the foam board, the cardboard, and the vinyl that the batteries will sit on. And the next picture here is I took shelf liner. It's a rubber shelf liner. It comes in a roll. I cut it 10 inches wide, and it's the roll was 12 inches wide. So I left it long, and this is what I separated each of the batteries with, because I'm going to be pulling these together tight as one, so I wanted some type of insulator between them, and this is what I used. Once I got all the batteries up there on top, you'll notice there's 5 of the cells that you can see there in front, and there is 3 behind. So on the left hand side, they're actually 6 deep, and they're 3 wide, 6 deep. Then you got the 2 that make up the 5 in the front there. So what I did, I took some straps and I put a strap around all 6 that are on the left. And then I put a strap around just the 5 that are in the front and pull those tight. And they are all in move as one if they do move. And they're sitting on that nice cushioned footing that I gave them. You'll also see that I do have the cell checker on the battery, and I'll be reviewing that here shortly. But that's what they look like when they're installed, and I've actually taken this van for a little cruise and did some wild maneuvers just to make sure that nothing's going to move around back there. And it came out quite nicely. So that's how I installed them. If you got any questions, please put your questions down below. And until next time, check you later.